stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Guys, I wanted to show you this car that I just bought. It's a really pretty cool car. I'm not quite sure if I'll be keeping it or not. I kind of had my eye on a Honda Element that I wanted, but Honda Elements are a little expensive, and I got this one fairly cheap. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to keep it, but it's a really cool looking car. And if you don't know anything about these, this is a 1996 Toyota rav4, and it's a 5-speed, and it only has 104,000 miles. It's just an incredible looking car. And look at this. That's glass. That's not even plastic. You know, all the cars from the 90s that are all faded looking, that's never going to happen to this car. It's in particularly good shape. I think I would keep this rav4. If it was a 2-door rav4, it makes it a little bit more interesting. And they also have a convertible version of the rav4. This is the first rav4, which is really incredible. I don't think they make rav4 like this anymore. This is kind of like a cute, good-looking, very useful SUV. And when you look at all the newer rav4s, they look like these mall-going behemoth SUVs that blend into other SUVs that really don't look very much like a Toyota anymore. This one looks great. I really like how it looks, how cartoony it looks. So let me show you around. Its share of problems, and I think if I keep it, I'll try and fix all of these. I've been watching Paul Shibivija in Utah. He has a really good channel, and he has been fixing up his Toyota rav4, and I think that's how I found out about him, was looking up stuff on the rav4. But it's got a dent right here, which is, it's not too bad. I mean, this is in 1996, and it's got the two-tone plastic, so, or it's got plastic underneath here and then metal. That kind of helps with the rust. This car doesn't have that much rust, considering it's a car that's on the east coast of the United States, and around here everything just tends to rust like crazy. There's another dent over here, and it looks like it's been hit over there. And on this side you have a little bit more of rust, and you can see it just rusted a little bit. Most cars do have this sort of thing on the east coast, which is a shame. This car is a 4-wheel drive as well. There's also a little bit of a dent here. Everything about this car works, which is kind of amazing for the age of it. And it's fairly tall. It also has the Toyota racks, and I have a key for it as well. I'm not sure if they should be this close together. I would assume they should be up here so you can carry other items. Now the door, this is kind of an odd thing and kind of a fault with the car. It gives it a little bit more quirkiness to it, but I don't particularly like how the door opens. Also, you have a full-size spare here, which looks pretty rugged, and I like that. But the door opens like this, and look at that. That's so much space that you have inside the rav4. But imagine you go to a shopping mall and you park, and there's a car here. You can't really open the door. That's why I think they started making all SUVs with the lifting trunk instead. And I prefer the way the Honda Element is. It's got the tailgate and the door going up. I'm a big fan of the Honda Element, but I think a rav4's engine and chassis is much better than a Honda Element. I do like Hondas. Hondas are like my second favorite cars for reliability and durability, but these Toyotas are much better when it comes to lasting a really long time. And I think that's one of the reasons I might consider keeping this one as my own car. There is some rust, of course, but not too bad considering all the other cars I've had. This one is a 4-door, and the doors are very light, and you can even remove those seats for more space. One of the things I wanted was a car I could sleep in, because if I go on trips, and I think I might be able to sleep in this one. To the driver's seat, this is the business side. And this one's kind of cool. It's got power windows, power locks, speaker. So, and everything looks to be about what Toyota would put in a car. This one's fully stock. So you still have a tape deck, which is kind of cool. I don't know. I think I'll leave it like that because it's a blast from the past sort of thing. You have a little bit of space here to put your phone. You also have this security thing, which I think it has to do with the key fob. I'm not sure. You have this thing, which is a cigarette lighter. Then you have the cigarette ashtray here. And of course, this is the most important part of this car is the 5-speed. You just don't find these very much anymore. It's like an anti-theft device these days. Very, very cool. And it doesn't get too terrible gas mileage. I think for me, since I'm a poor person, I prefer cars that get really good gas mileage. This one gets about 22 to 25 miles per gallon, which is a standard, I think a pretty good standard for 1996, but we are in 2019 and cars are getting 40 to 50 miles per gallon. Still got that like 80s look thing that Toyota was doing, which I think holds up fairly well. I think it's a pretty good looking sort of scheme. And look at this. I mean, the seats look to be in pretty darn good shape. Let me start the car for you. The exhaust, I mean, it is quiet. There's no holes in the exhaust, and I'm not used to driving cars without at least 2 holes in the exhaust. It is a very quiet little car, and I'm not sure, like, should I keep it or should I sell it? I don't know. I find it hard to get rid of a good deal, or if I have a good deal, it's like, why not keep it? I need a car right now. I don't really have my own because the Nissan Hardbody is my father's and the Prius is my sister's, but I'm not really a SUV guy. I'm like a fancy lad. Yeah, I'm kind of like a fancy lad, and SUVs are a little bit too butch for me. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Write it down in the comments if you think I should keep this car or not. If you guys decide that I should keep it, fine. If not, tell me what other car you think I should be looking at. Something cheap, something very, very, very durable. I don't like to be working on cars. You know, something that will keep trucking. I kind of like the idea of sleeping in the car. The Prius does that, the Element does that. This one does that, I think, if I remove the passenger seat. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. All right, see you guys.